Oh, hello. Welcome to the Christmas collaboration of the official Outlaws friends group. And my name is Karen, and I will start this talking about some Christmas things, just so that you can feel nice and cozy and prepare yourself mentally for Christmas. So I will decorate myself a little bit, goofball style, and I would like to light a candle. This one, and it's got a wooden burning thing. Sorry, I'm from Germany. I don't always have the right words. But it'll crackle, so that's really awesome. I just tried it before. And now we'll place this right beside you. Okay, so what's Christmas like in Germany? We have Christmas trees, Christmas decorations, and but we kind of have different traditions. Like some families would say that Santa Claus will bring all the presents, but others will say that there's a child version of Jesus. Sometimes it's also like a young girl. There are kind of different stories around that. So it's the Christkind, like the Christ child, and it will bring all the presents. Or even if Santa Claus will bring the presents, who is called Weihnachtsmann, because Weihnachten is Christmas, they will all bring them on Christmas Eve. So no children that can sleep before Christmas. So I remember as a kid we were told to go into our room and to wait until the Christkind has come and brought the presents. So we weren't allowed to peek through the keyhole, but of course that's exactly what we did, but we didn't see much. And after a while there's a little bell that they ring. It's not all over Germany, I guess, but with us it was like that. And then you can come out and see what the Christkind or Weihnachtsmann has placed underneath the Christmas tree. Yeah, and besides that, I don't have a favorite Christmas season or memory, but I have a least favorite one. I once got a very awful carrot-size shaped red trousers. Yeah, I was expecting like I think I wanted a dollhouse, and I got some trousers. Yeah, I think the best part about Christmas is just a peaceful, forgiving kind of mindset that it can give you. People coming together. I've heard of families who also prepared a seat at their Christmas Eve table, and for just a stranger who might come up, and sometimes they did actually. I really like that. I just heard it this year, and I like the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer story, and because it's so integrative and just makes you feel warm and fuzzy, and it's like the fest of happy ends, right? I know it can be very challenging for people to have this season and who are maybe alone. But if you are alone, please just don't get don't get too emotional. Try to pretend like it's just a regular day, or just spend it with us here. And with this, I would like to give the screen over to all the lovely friends from all over the world who are participating, and see you soon. Merry Christmas.
Hello, this is ASMR Noire, and today I'm going to tell you a little bit about Swedish Christmas. We have celebrated Christmas in Sweden since a very long time back, and in the old days it was of course a religious reason to celebrate Christmas. But nowadays I would say that 90% of the Swedish population celebrate Christmas for the gifts and the food. And I know that some people in other countries celebrate Christmas the 25th, but we celebrate the 24th. So I was going to tell you a little bit about how it pans out when we celebrate Christmas. And I have my Christmassy hat on. Well, on the 23rd, the children, the kids, are eagerly lying in bed and waiting to sleep, because on the 24th they often get a little early Christmas gift in the morning. And after they have received that one, it's time for Donald Duck. It's a tradition since the 60s perhaps, I don't really remember. But they show Donald Duck's Christmas every year at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So everyone is, both adults and kids, are gathering in front of the television to watch Donald Duck. After that is finished, it is time for Christmas dinner, which is about at 5 o'clock. Now, Sweden don't have Christmas turkey, or, well, we do have it now, because, American traditions tend to spread in Sweden really fast. So I guess it's have been Christmas, the turkey has taken over a bit. But traditionally we have Christmas ham, which is a big ham covered in breadcrumbs and mustard and spices. And we have a pickled herring, which is mostly done, it's homemade, in which you take vinegar, water, sugar, peppers, carrots, onions, and you cut up the herrings into little pieces and you put them in a jar, which have to stand and get ready for a week or so. And we have something called sylta. I don't really know the English word for it. Is kind of like a piece of pudding, kind of, with a lot of stuff in it. And we have pastries and meatballs. Swedish meatballs is a standard on Christmas Eve. And bread and, well, little wieners. In bigger families, when they have a big living room, now it's the time to dance around a Christmas pole. Yeah, because Swedish have pines, which they take in, Christmas pines, and they decorate it with glitter and balls, and, well, it's a Christmas tree. The bigger the better, and the more impressive to the neighbors it is, the better. So they dance around the pole, singing happy little songs like Christmassy songs, like I can't figure one out right now. I'm not a big Christmas person myself. I often, I mostly celebrate Christmas because it gives me some kind of excuse to eat extremely much. Alright, so after the Christmas pole dancing, it's time for presents. And if the family is lucky, they have one guy who dresses up as Father Christmas or Santa Claus. And it's often the same excuse. He says, "Oh, I gotta go buy a paper." And he disappears mysteriously. And a couple of minutes later, it pounds on the door, and in comes Santa Claus, I mean. And he has a big bag full of presents, and all the children's eyes are like shining. And he hands out Christmas gifts to all the adults and the kids, and often get a schnapps or 10 before wobbling out the door. And mysteriously, just as mysteriously as he has vanished, the person who went for the paper is coming back. And he often says, "Oh, I missed Santa Claus again." So after that, all the kids are happy and jolly, and if they didn't get what they want, sad and sour, it's pretty much over. Everyone is comparing their Christmas gifts and perhaps get a little drunk with some julglögg or mulled wine, as it's called, I think. So that is Christmas in Sweden. A lot of food, a lot of expectations, a lot of broken expectations, a lot of more food, Christmas ham, and jolly mood. Now, from me, ASMR Noire, to you, I wish you a very merry, jolly Christmas.
Hey guys, it's Inoue Flame. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you some memories that I have associated with Christmas time. Now, some of you may already be aware that I'm Hindu, and therefore my family doesn't really celebrate Christmas. But I do have some fond memories associated with Christmas time. And I forgot to do this earlier, but I actually do have a wreath of tinsel here, and I'm going to be using it to give you some tingles while I share these memories with you. So, why is Christmas time so special to me? As I said, I'm Hindu, so my family doesn't celebrate. But when I was a kid, I used to watch a lot of, I'd say American, I was going to say Western, but they were more American than anything else. A lot of American cartoons and TV shows. And I also used to go out and see Christmas trees during that time of year. So naturally, I wanted a Christmas tree. And my parents, they actually went out and got me a little Christmas tree. Not a big one, just a little 2-foot tree. And the highlight of each year would be when we got the tree out and decorated it. And we would go out, get ornaments for it, and then we'd trim it. We used to have an angel that would go on top, but eventually the angel broke and we had to get a star, but that was alright. And I remember one year in particular, my parents actually asked me on Christmas Eve to write down something that I wanted on a piece of paper, and was, for some reason, very interested in camping. So I wrote that I wanted a tent on a piece of paper and put it under the Christmas tree. And the next morning, on Christmas Day, when I woke up, I went and looked under the tree, and there was a small collapsible tent there. So Santa Claus had apparently heard my wish. Years later, I found out that my parents, after I'd gone to sleep, had actually gone in the middle of the night to IKEA just to get me that tent. Which was quite amazing of them, really. Eventually, over the years, we kind of stopped putting up the tree, and after some time, the tree was given away, as were all the decorations. But I still do very much enjoy this time of year, even though we don't have decorations at home. We still go out to malls, and the malls usually make a big deal out of Christmas. There's decorations everywhere. And in fact, some days, my grandmother, she can barely walk, but she really likes looking at Christmas decorations. So there are some days when my mom and my aunt will bring her out to look at said decorations. And I guess what I love most about Christmas time is what Ebenezer Scrooge's nephew said about it. Something along the lines of that one time of year when people open their shut-up hearts to those of lower stature than them and treat them as fellow human beings instead of just passengers on the road to the grave, or something to that effect. And it's just the spirit of giving. Even if you don't give someone like an extravagant or expensive gift on Christmas, it's the thought that counts. It's the thought that you thought of that person and decided to get them something. Even if it's just, I don't know, a pair of socks or something like that, I don't know. Or something that they really need. In fact, sometimes practical gifts are almost the best thing to give on Christmas because, I mean, it's something that the person will use. Not just some decorative knick-knack that's gonna stay on a shelf and gather dust over the years. But yeah, that's basically what Christmas is to me. It's a time of year where you just give, even if it's not a physical gift, even if it's just the gift of your time or your presence. Not presents, but just being there for someone can be almost enough, almost better than a physical gift. So yes, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas and a happy New Year. Good night, everyone.
Hello, this is Janeczka, and today I'm coming at you with a Christmas video because we were asked by Karen singing ASMR to do a little whispering video about not Santa Claus, Christmas. I believe in Santa Claus. I guess I do now. Alright. So I decided to incorporate some crinkly sounds because I have these Christmas decorations and I have never opened them. So I'm opening them now. This makes really nice sounds, I think. Wow, this looks a lot shinier on camera. It's actually a dull grey. I also wanted to talk about something because when I was a kid, like I come from oh, look at this. This is so cute. A little bit scary, but cute. But dude, oh my god, he looks drunk. Look at his eyes. Anyway, I was saying I come from a Catholic circle. That is probably my favorite thing about Christmas. So that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video and it gave some Christmas tingles for the world. And Merry Christmas. Ba-rum-ba-bum-bum.
Hello everyone, it's me, Bleeding Dr. Love, and today, after I stop impersonating Kevin unintentionally, I'm going to talk to you about Christmas. Now, Christmas is actually very important to me. It always has been. Being raised Christian in the U.S., it's always had a special place in my heart, and especially with my family. And truth be told, even my worst Christmas, I can kind of remember fondly. But I digress. Should probably stick with a subject and pick a subject rather and stick to it. But as you guys know, that's not really me. So what does Christmas mean to me? Now, I could go on and on about, about the significance of Christmas with the religion I used to have, being a, former Christian. And I could go on and on about how it's the birth of Jesus and everything else. But to me, that's not really what is important. To me, it's about taking time to make sure that the people that are important in your life feel important in your life. Even people you don't really talk to all that much. Like, for example, every year on Christmas, my mom and I go to see usually my Aunt Carol's house. Not always. Actually, I think this year it's actually being held at my house, if I remember right. But, we'll get the family together and, share presents with the younger members, or just sit around and just hang out and do whatever. I think, what do you know, I do have a Christmas memory. I remember when the Michael Jackson Experience came out for the Wii. I remember the whole family got together and we all took turns playing. Matt and I would play The Girl Is Mine. My cousin, not my cousin, sorry, my Uncle Jason and I would played what is that song called? Speed Demon. We were playing that one, and we got the whole family laughing at what we were doing, and it was honestly one of the most fun things I've ever done with my family. And just for moments like that, I love Christmas. When we can just get the family together, no drama, no political crap, just have fun. Do something together. Even if, one year we went to, actually I don't remember if this was Thanksgiving or Christmas, but we went to my Uncle Jeff's house, and he had a projector, and he just had one of the Ice Age movies playing, and we were just watching that, and just having a good time. It's just simple things like that. It's really about the simple pleasures in life, and just taking simple things and reminding the ones you love how important they are through those simple things. But yeah, I know I'm rambling, but I'm not sure what else to say about that. But Karen also suggested that I bring up how Americans celebrate Christmas. And I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, like, get all the bacon ever, pop it on a plate, and just feast. But no, it's not like that. Usually, I can't speak for all of America, but I can speak for myself, obviously. Again, we just get the family together, usually around noon to 3, somewhere in that time. And just, if we have younger members of the family, we'll buy them presents and there'll be a chance for them to exchange gifts. Usually my cousin Jenna tries to bring one of her famous games along, which I hope she does this year. I would actually love that. Because she always finds the best games, and somebody always gets accused of cheating during the game. Which is funny, because a lot of times the rules are so simple, it's like, okay, there is no possible way this person is cheating. There's... But, yeah, that's all I got. So, in conclusion, I love you guys, all of you. I just wanted to say, have a Merry Christmas. Or, a more interesting way to say it, Merry Christmas, you filthy animal, and a Happy New Year. Alright, see you guys.
My favorite memory from Christmas is being able to spend time with my family, just chilling out around the fire, eating food, and wrapping presents with each other. And then, more of the not inviting a cat into things, we're always sitting for cuddles and love. And then I also really love Christmas dinner, and my favourite part about that is like the ghost fat roast potatoes that my mum made for like delicious anything, and they're amazing. And then like just food in general, I remember my favourite things about Christmas because I can eat so much and not look like a fat pig, which is totally amazing because, but yeah, I'd say my 2 favourite things about Christmas would be like spending time with family and like food.
So, I remember Christmas. Some of my favorite memories of Christmas. They all kind of mesh together now. But I remember being a kid. I remember my family would wake up and we would all gather in the kitchen, which was connected to the den and connected to the living room. So these 3 rooms just kind of were separated by 2 walls. So I remember we would all wake up, we'd all gather in the kitchen, and the living room, which is where the Christmas tree was and where the presents were, that folding door was always shut. It was shut and no one was allowed in there. Well, us kids weren't allowed in there. And we would all wait in the kitchen until my grandmother got up. And so she would get up and she would make her way into the kitchen. And before we did anything, before we ate breakfast, before we opened a present, my grandmother would have to come into the living room and she would pray. And as a kid, it seemed like she was praying for such a long time. But she would pray, and she would thank God and whatnot, and for family and whatnot. I can't remember what else she prayed about. But I just remember when she was done, we would all say amen. And then they would open those folding doors to the living room. And here's why I believed in Santa Claus as a kid. Because I remember how many presents were gift wrapped and under our tree. We have all these gifts gift wrapped and under the tree. And when they would open the door for the big reveal Christmas morning, there was so much more in there. Like toys just from everywhere. And I'm like, oh my goodness, Santa must be real. No such thing as Santa Claus. But it was a fun time. It was an awesome memory. I remember there were times my mother would tell me, I don't have any money, you can't get anything for Christmas. And it would bother me, but at the same time, I was the kind of kid that would accept it. So she would be like, I don't have any money, you're not going to have a Christmas this year. I would think about it, then I would shrug my shoulders and be like, okay, that's fine. You know, it is what it is. You know. And my mother was in a car accident when she was a teenager. So she had entered adult life disabled. So she had to do what she can to make money and whatnot and to provide for us. But I had accepted. She said it wasn't going to be any Christmas. Okay, whatever. I accepted. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. And then Christmas morning would come, and there'd be all this stuff there for us. And this is yours. This is yours. This is yours. And I'm like, you said there wasn't going to be any Christmas. Oh well, I got something. But I quickly reached a place in my life where I didn't care if I got anything or not. Some of my most happy and memorable times were just spending time with my family, just being there with my cousins and my aunts and my uncles and everyone, and it was exciting. It was a good time, and it didn't need to be anything more, you know. And my grandmother baked. It seemed like she would just start baking stuff. And she would bake so much, so many different kinds of cakes. Oh my goodness. Those are some good times. I mean, just cakes galore. And they would always give us an apple and an orange. And sometimes a peppermint stick. And more than just the ones that hung on the tree, but a large one. And it's like these things just became a hallmark of Christmas for me. So when I think of Christmas, I always think apples, oranges, peppermint. And the combination of those smells, oh my goodness, it takes me back. But that's some of my favorite memories of Christmas. I can't even remember what I got one year when I was a little older and didn't believe in Santa Claus clearly, but you know, I understood giving gifts. My mother got me a children's Bible, and I had so much reverence and so much respect because she did that, and even now I can't explain it to you. Just to me, that was the height of caring, because she shared with me something that I think is very important. She shared with me Jesus Christ. She shared with me God, and I have a lot of reservations concerning what I personally believe Christmas is and what is portrayed on TV and what is portrayed in music. And I take issue with a lot of songs, but I take issues with a lot of shows, but at the end of the day, for me, Christmas is knowing that God gave his son to die for us so that we could have life and not be trapped and bound by the enemy of our souls forever. We can be free. So there's no better Christmas gift than that. So yeah, I remember Christmas very, very fondly. And even though I'm currently single, I am working on a young lady we met, and we kind of like each other. So we're gonna see how this goes. But in terms of having children, I have none. But if I should have some, I look forward to giving them, putting that smile on their faces, but also to share with them that deep religious part of Christmas that seems to be ignored every year. I look forward to sharing that with them as my mom did with me. So, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Hi everyone, it's Ellie Davionte. I'm just here to say Merry Christmas to everyone out there watching. And I thought I'd tell you a little bit about what Christmas means to me. In my family, we do a traditional English Christmas. So we have all the trimmings, the turkey, the ham, all the food. It's crazy. Because my great-grandmother wanted to do things very old-fashioned when she was around, and it just kind of stuck. So even though it's summer here in New Zealand and the weather is getting a lot warmer, it's not cold at all. We do the traditional Christmas, So, as I said, being in New Zealand, it is very different because the weather is getting warmer. It's now summer here, and everything on television and all of the Christmas, everything about Christmas generally is snow and cold and winter, and so it's kind of interesting for us because it might be Christmas Day and it might be one of the hottest days of the year, so it's really interesting growing up with that idea that on the other side of the world it's cold, but I've never experienced that personally, so yeah, I think it's really cool. Anyway, I just wanted to say Merry Christmas to everyone. I hope you're staying safe and happy and you're spending time with loved ones. And yeah, happy holidays. Bye.
Why, hello everybody. My favorite Christmas memory actually happened a few days after Christmas. My friends and I, one of those friends is right here. I've done a few videos with him. I've known him like my whole life, so go check him out. It's not the point. Anyway, a few of my friends and I, we were going to a convention that usually happens a few days after Christmas in Maryland, and luckily the weather was going to be fine, driving there and back. So we went there. We went to the convention. We drove all the way from Michigan to Maryland. It took roughly 2 days, and what I remember the most, my favorite part of it, is that I was driving the morning that we were going to get there, and so I was in Virginia, just going through all of the tunnels of the Smoky Mountains and just seeing like fresh frost and fog and the morning sun just like shining on the whole, just all of the mountains in the distance. And then it was great too because everyone else was asleep, so I was the only one awake, and I'm just like staring out, just like looking at all the beautiful mountains just covered with frost and fog. And it's not really Christmas related, but it's one of my favorite memories that happened around the time of Christmas. I still felt Christmassy in my heart, so it counts, right? It counts.
Hi everyone, it's Andy here. I wanted to tell you about an amazing memory I have of Christmas when I was a little boy. Every Christmas I would go and visit my grandmother, and she would pay me £1, it was a long time ago, to wrap all of the Christmas presents that she was going to give out that year. And the presents would all be little funny things like grandmothers buy, like for myself and my cousins, all the boys, she used to buy a tub of Avon talcum powder, and then she'd put a £10 note in an envelope, and that would be rolled around the talcum powder, and then the wrapping paper would go on top. And because I would help her, I'd get to choose which scent I liked the best. And I always remember that it was on the same day that I used to help her decorate the tree. And she had a really small Christmas tree, not much smaller than the one behind me here. And it was an artificial tree, and I used to help her decorate it every year. And every year we'd make new ornaments to go on it. And the ornaments would be things like Christmas crackers made out of an old cardboard roll. Or she'd find somewhere bits of polystyrene, you know, like you get in, like when you buy something and you get polystyrene in it. And we'd cut them into squares and wrap them up as if they were presents. And they'd be decorations to go on the tree and under the tree. And every time I decorate my tree, I just think of my grandmother. And she died a year ago, and I miss her very much. So it's a really nice time for me every Christmas when I decorate my tree to do some of the same traditions that I did with my grandmother. And one of those traditions is, I can show you. So this Father Christmas ornament, it's a really, really cheap one from the 70s. It's older than I am. This was hers, and we'd put this in the tree, and we'd put presents all around it, and pretend it was Santa's grotto. So now every year, that's what I do. So I'd like to say, Happy Christmas, Nadolig Llawen, a blwyddyn newydd dda.